everybody, it's Jason Creel and you're watching The Lawn Care Life. As you can tell, maybe the car is actually moving, but thankfully I'm not driving. I'm in the passenger seat. We took a little out-of-town trip, but today I wanted to talk to you about the pros and cons of being in business for yourself. Now specifically, I'm in the lawn business, but this could really apply to any business. It was probably a couple of years ago when I had somebody ask me a very specific question, and they said this. They said, Jason, why don't you get a job that has some benefits? And that's a very good question. I mean, it's a reasonable question because, you know, they're thinking I'm in the lawn business, I don't have any benefits. And of course, what they mean by that is I don't have a matching 401k or health insurance or things like that. And I don't know what I answered at that very moment. But the more I've thought about it, I really do think there's a lot of benefits to being self-employed, but there's also some difficulties about it too. So let's get started. Pros and cons of the lawn care business. I'm going to start with the cons first, then we'll do the pros. Con number one is we've already established no benefits. Now there's actually are benefits, but in the traditional sense of the word, like we were referring to, there's no, health insurance that at least company provided. I mean, maybe you've structured your business where you provide health insurance, but again, it's not in the traditional sense of you working for a big job. Looks like Walmart truck passing by here, but you don't have the matching 401k, you don't have paid vacation, things like that. If you take time off, that's fine, but it's probably in some way costing your company money. So, in those sense, you don't have the same benefits as a traditional job. So I would categorize that as a con. Second con I want to mention of being in business for yourself, specifically talking about the lawn care business, is that it's hard to turn your business off. Think about people that have a normal job, whether it be some 8 to 5, 9 to 5 type job. At 5 o'clock, when they leave their office, many of them are able to do so and not think about their job again until the next day. I mean, they literally don't think about it at all. They don't take it home with them. On the weekends, when they leave Friday, the last thing on their mind is, I wonder how my company's doing or performing. I'm not saying this is with everybody, but many people have that what I would call a luxury. It's not like that for most of us in business for ourselves. I can't make my phone stop ringing at a certain time. Of course, I could turn it off. I could not respond to emails, but the truth is, my business is on my mind a lot. It's on my mind on the weekends. It's on my mind when I wake up and before I go to bed. It's on my mind, honestly, more than I wish it was on my mind. And it's hard to turn that off because you're just more attached to it than most people are to their regular day job. And I don't think that's, a bad thing, but it does make it hard to get away, hard to be able to, have some downtime. For example, my wife and I took a trip out of town for a couple of days, but it's not like I didn't get any phone calls or have emails to reply to. Now, of course, I can turn that off and not answer the phone, not reply to email, but I didn't do that. I would have lost out on some opportunities to be able to get customers. So, there's a balance there. You're able to spend time away, but you're also still attached to your business more so than probably somebody with a more traditional job. The third downside of having your own business or con is there is a very real risk of failure in owning your own business. And there's also a risk, of having a job, you might get fired, but the risk of failing in business oftentimes can cost you a lot more money than if you just lose a job. Now, losing a job can cost you a lot of money. It may take you a long time to be able to replace that job. Maybe you didn't see it coming. Failure in a business may be something that you sort of see coming from the distance, but it nevertheless hurts. It can take a long time to recover and can cost you a lot of money. So there is some risk involved. I mean, your name is on the business. A lot of times your livelihood's on the business, and ultimately it can cost you a lot of money and be very difficult to recover from if your business fails. And the fourth con I want to mention in this video is stress. Business can cause stress to you. I saw something posted on Facebook the other day I thought was interesting. It was a picture of a guy that looked like he was about 80 years old, all wrinkled up, and the text said something like this, and it was meant to be funny, but it said, You know, who said owning a business is stressful? I'm 39 and I feel great. And the point was, you know, like I said, he looked like he was 80 years old. The business can be stressful. This goes back to, it's something you can't turn off really, or maybe it's very difficult to turn it off. Your company weighs on you. As you get employees, you're not only responsible for your own self, and you're providing for your own income, you have hopefully an interest in your employees' success and being able to help provide for them a better opportunity as well. So those things collectively can weigh on you, and it adds stress, especially, you know, if you got a lot of customers in the lawn business that, you know, so a lot of people involved. People can bring stress. There's ways you can structure your business hopefully to make it less stressful, where everything is not riding on you, the business owner. Those are some things that I'm working on in my own business. You know, just having time away, giving other people responsibilities so that you're not solely dependent on you. Now, of course, owning a business is not all negative. We're going to move over to the pros, and I think there's more pros than cons. And when I weigh them out, I still think owning a business is the way to go, at least for people who are wired that way and feel like it's something they want to do. So even though there's these negatives, you know, they're real, and part of it, I think the pros outweigh the cons. So let's start with number one benefit of owning your own business. One benefit, or one pro I want to mention is kind of the opposite of the cons when saying there's no benefits. Well, actually there are some benefits, and I didn't mention this to the person that asked me why don't you get a job with benefits, but there really are benefits to having your own business. I mean, think about it, like if I needed to be off tomorrow to go do something, there's nobody I have to ask about being off. If I want to be off, I'm off, okay? I don't have to ask anybody, and that is a very good benefit. The flexibility of your schedule, the freedom. In a lot of ways you're tied to your business, but in a lot of ways, if you need to be off early, you need to show up late, you need to work extra, you need to work less, whatever. You can do what you want to do because it's your business, and just that personal freedom in it is worth a lot. The second pro is very closely related to that, and that's you don't have a boss. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day and I could relate to him. He said, you know what, I just don't function well in a work environment with a boss. And I said, yeah, I had a lot of jobs, most of them didn't go well, and it's not because I didn't work hard or whatever. You know, I just think some people are function better owning their own business, and when you're made that way, it makes it difficult to function in other situations. So I think it's a huge advantage not to have a boss. I don't know many people who say, I just love having a boss. Now, they may enjoy their boss as a person and like, you know, him or her, and think that they're a good boss, but it's not like they just enjoy having a boss. I mean, most of the time when you hear people talk about their boss, it's in a negative connotation. Now, we want to be better bosses at our own business, but the fact that you can not have a boss, to me, is a huge plus. Pro number three, while you may fail at your business and lose all your money and go bankrupt, and those are realities, you know what? The good thing is nobody's gonna fire you. You know, I hear stories of people that have been with companies for years and years and years, and they all of a sudden the company downsizes, whatever, something goes wrong, and they lose their job that they've had for a long time, and it was very unexpected, and really puts them in a difficult situation, and you didn't see it coming. You know, and that's what I'm saying. When you have your own business, I mean, I'm not going to get fired tomorrow. A customer might fire me, but I'm not going to get fired as the head of my own lawn care business. So I think that's a huge advantage. Like I said, you may fail, but you're not going to get fired. Fourth pro I want to mention, and this is one of my favorite ones, you actually got a higher income potential owning your own business. I mean, most of the wealthy people that, you know, the really, really wealthy people in America seem to be self-employed, okay, or they work for some huge corporation. But, you know, not that you can't make money doing a profession, you can, but a lot of wealthy people are owning their own business in some shape or form. Now, it doesn't mean that you're always going to make a lot of money if you do that, but there is a higher income potential when you do that. I think also, while there is no probably you've got to self-retire, okay, you're probably, you know, you got to invest in your own retirement, there is the opportunity to hopefully sell your business one day, and that can in some ways act as a retirement. So a lot of lawn care companies even can sell for millions of dollars, which could be a great retirement. So I've been reading a little bit about that and what businesses are worth when you sell and sort of thing. And I had somebody approach me actually this year about buying my business. Now, I wasn't interested in selling at the time, but they saying that a lot of companies are paying $1 per dollar on your revenue for the previous year. So let's say your business generated $200,000 in revenue, then your business might be worth $200,000. Now there's a lot of people that would argue that number and you know, won't pay more or less, whatever, far less. But I think in a lot, especially in what I'm doing this weed control and fertilization, they're saying that some of the larger companies will pay around that amount. Now, of course, all that has to be brokered in a deal and all that kind of stuff. But the point is, you know, there is value to your business. So you're making an annual salary in your business, annual income, but at the same time, there may be a big pile of money at the end if you're able to sell the business someday. Another pro of having your own business is if you need a raise, you don't have to go ask somebody. If I know most people in the lawn business that are established have plenty of work to do. I mean, if they needed to make $50 more today, they could do it, okay? Now, they don't necessarily want to, but I'm saying most of the time when there's work to do, I mean, there's just plenty of work to do. You can always do more work. I personally think I could probably work 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, for as long as I want to. You know, there's enough work to do that. Now, I don't want to do that. I don't recommend doing that, but I'm saying if I needed to make more money this year than last year, and it just came down to simply working more, that the job that's available, you know what I'm saying, is there. I don't have to go say, hey, can I have $1 an hour raise because I feel like I deserve it. I just go out there and try to make more money because the opportunity's there and it's my business. And the last pro I want to mention, and this may be the best one, and it's hard to put a value on this, but I think there is just a certain level of joy and satisfaction that people get from owning their own successful business. Now, you know, maybe the con is there's a certain level of misery in owning a failing business, and I've experienced that to some degree as well in a different industry. But when you are successful and you have your own business, it is something people take a lot of pride in. That's worth quite a bit of value. I mean, I've talked to friends who have been working for somebody else for a long time, and when they start their own business and it starts to go well, and you ask them, you know, what do you think? How's it going having your own business? And you basically get similar responses, and it's like, I could never see myself ever working for somebody again. Once you taste that freedom and just having your own business and some of the pros that we mentioned, it's like you don't want to go back. And that's how I feel. I don't want to go back. I mean, I hope I never have to go back. I'm not saying I never will, but I hope I never have to. But there's a value, and I don't know what it is, but if I could make, let's just put a number out there, $100,000 working for myself or $100,000 working for somebody else, there's no doubt about it, I'm going to choose working for myself. And even if the other came with paid vacation and all these other health insurance and other benefits, and you didn't have to pay for those out of your own pocket, still, no doubt, I would take less money to work for myself and more money to work for somebody else, because like I said, that there's just there's more than just money and benefits. There's a personal satisfaction and the freedom that comes from owning your own business that has a high value on it, in my opinion. I would have to be paid significantly more money to go work for somebody else. That's it for me. Pros and cons of owning a business. Let me hear from you. I know many of you are business owners. You agree with my list. Is there some things you want to add to the list? Some cons, some pros that I've left off? And what advice would you give those who are looking to get into a business? So leave a comment below. If you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm Jason Creel. Thanks for watching. Here's some suggested videos popping up for you now. Talk to you later. Bye.